Hello guys, it's Sophie and welcome back to my channel. It has been a while, I have to say, since I've sat down and made a video for you guys, so it's really nice to be able to do this again. I hope you're all well. On today's video I wanted to talk more about cetacean facts that I've learnt recently. I've been doing quite a lot of research into cetaceans, a lot about their behaviour, I've been watching loads of documentaries. So I really thought it'd be interesting to sit down and share some of that knowledge that I've learned that I thought you guys might find interesting. So today I really wanted to talk about culture in cetaceans. Culture isn't just about the behaviours that these animals are exhibiting in the wild, it's about why they're exhibiting them and how they change and how they get passed down through generations. But before we get onto that, I, funnily enough, learned something yesterday about killer whales that has proved that my previous knowledge on them wasn't completely correct. And I think that this is something that a lot of people within the community still believe, and it's all to do with orca ecotypes. So first of all, for those that don't know, what is an orca ecotype? So an ecotype is a population of a species that survives as a distinct group through environmental changes and challenges, and also through isolation. So there are 10 ecotypes of killer whale, and they are found in every corner of the world, in all the world's oceans. And each one has to face its own unique challenges, from what they hunt, which means they have to have their own hunting techniques, they have to look different to fit in with their environment, they have to communicate differently, and that also means that affects their culture as well. So these different groups, these different pods and matrilines, they are their own subspecies in a way, because they are completely different from every other group around the world. So in the Northern Hemisphere, we have 5 different ecotypes. We have the North Atlantic Type 1 and Type 2, we have the resident orcas, the transient or Biggs orcas, and then the offshore orcas. And in the Southern Hemisphere, we have Type A orcas, 2 Type B orcas, Type C and Type D. So the Type B come in the larger ones and the smaller ones. So the large Type B are known as pack ice orcas, and then the smaller Type B are known as Galash, if I say that right, Galash orcas, due to where they're found. Type C are known as the Ross Sea killer whales, and then Type D are known as the sub-Antarctic killer whales. Now if you're like me and you know a lot about killer whales, you've probably heard that the 10 ecotypes of orcas are broken down into 3 subcategories, which are the transients, the residents, and the offshore orcas. And resident killer whales only eat localised fish populations, transients only eat marine mammals, and offshores eat sharks and pelagic fish. So the word transient then is not a common name for marine mammal eating killer whales. It is a name that is given to a specific ecotype that is only found in the North Pacific. So there are other ecotypes that do eat marine mammals as well, but they are not known as transients. This guy called Dr. Michael Biggs is the reason why the transient ecotype is also known as the Biggs killer whale ecotype. And this guy was studying mainly resident ecotypes, and he gave the name transient to this other pod that he was studying because they differed in both habitat and what they were feeding on. And this pod does mainly feed on marine mammals, in fact almost exclusively on marine mammals. So this term transient killer whale was then used across the board for any killer whale that was eating marine mammals. The crazy thing is, most marine mammal eating killer whales are not transients at all. So if you see an animal in Norway or in Argentina feeding on a seal, they are definitely not a transient killer whale because they are only found in the North Pacific. So now I want to dive straight into the world of humpback whales and talk about their culture, but specifically a single population of humpback whales that are very close to my heart, that I remember watching in Australia, migrating with their calves, and that is the Southern Hemisphere humpback whales. Just like all cetacean species, the way that humpback whales communicate and converse is incredibly complex, but the way that they do it non-verbally is even more spectacular. Off the western coast of Australia, over 30,000 humpback whales are migrating back down south towards Antarctica, for feeding and in order to raise their calves. Now, while they're on this journey, they are using so many ways of non-verbal communication to talk to each other. And this can be through spy hops, tail lobbing, fin slaps, and breaching. Now, with the largest pectoral fins of any whale, these fin slaps and then obviously all the breaches and the splashes can be heard for miles around under the water, as it carries sound a lot better, which means that they can communicate with animals a very long way away. Each whale has their own reason for exhibiting these high energy behaviours, such as males, who will use this to show off their physical prowess through breaching, but they will also do it to ward off unwanted male attention as well, in order to impress other females without having rivals. Now, mother humpback whales will use peck slaps and tail lobs in order to draw the attention of their calves, whether that is to alert them of potential danger or to ask them to come back to them. It can be used for multiple reasons. But I find that it's the calves that do display the most amazing behaviours. Calves can be seen breaching up to 40 times in a row, and scientists just think it's for fun. They just think that it's them seeing what all the other whales in the area are doing and learning through observation and obviously copying them. But a humpback whale's verbal communication is very different. Now, a humpback whale's song is incredibly special. At the start of the season, all of the males in the area will be singing the same song from last season, but as the season wears on, they all start to sing something quite special. During the mating season, different generations of males will start adding their own unique variations and melodies to the same song that they started with. In the end, each male whale starts copying the one after him, and they all start singing the same song. It basically becomes a #1 hit. 3,000 miles this song travels. It's absolutely staggering. It is the most amazing communication feat on the entire planet, that this one song then becomes shared by every single male in that area over an entire continent width. So the song that starts from the west then travels east and keeps travelling further and further and further east until it reaches the South Pacific. This is where the Cook Islands are. There are 15 Cook Islands in the South Pacific, and these are some of the most remote places in the world. But the male humpback whales that inhabit these waters are incredibly special because they have learnt to amplify the song that they are singing by using coral beds shaped as amphitheatres. So this song that these male whales are singing is the same song from over 5,000 miles away that the unrelated humpback whales are singing in southern Australia. That's mind-boggling. This is a cultural phenomenon, that this one song that these whales have passed among each other in a community is travelling over 1/5 of the way around the globe. But it's staggering, it's absolutely staggering how complex this verbal communication has gone. So there you go, that was just a couple facts that I wanted to share with you guys today about cetacean culture and orca ecotypes. If you haven't done so already, I think it's called The Secret of the Whales. It's narrated by Sigourney Weaver. An incredible watch, definitely a must watch if you have Disney Plus, so check that out for sure. Also, if you haven't done so already, make sure you follow me on my Instagram, which I will link below here, as I've been posting lots of information and content at the moment about cetaceans and also other marine life. And make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel for more animal related content such as this, which I will hopefully be doing a lot more of now that I've got a bit of free time. So that's all for now, guys, but I hope you're all staying safe. Take care, and I will see you soon.